This is Fantasy Essentials, the series where I highlight books and series that I think are essential reads for fantasy fans. Today, we are discussing Joe Abercrombie's dark, gritty tale filled with morally gray characters and subverted expectations, The First Law. The First Law is the quintessential grimdark fantasy series. This trilogy sets the bar for realistic, morally ambiguous characters. There are no true heroes or villains in this world, only flawed people. This series also features some of the most iconic, memorable characters in all of fantasy. The First Law series is a trilogy, although there are 3 follow-up standalone books as well as an additional trilogy set in the same world and with a lot of the same characters. This series is known for its compelling, complex characters, sharp dialogue, dry humor, subversion of classic fantasy tropes, brutal action, frequent political intrigue, and top-tier audiobook narration. The First Law is a character-driven trilogy about an empire that is caught up in a 2-front war that threatens to destroy them. Specifically, the story follows a group of misfits being led and manipulated by a powerful and ancient wizard who wishes to bend the world to his will. This series takes place in a dark, gritty fantasy world known as the Circle of the World, which is in its medieval era during the trilogy. The diversity of this world is often hinted at and lightly touched on, but the story primarily takes place in just a couple of regions. The First Law explores themes like the corrupting nature of power, the complexity of human morality, unwillingness to change, systemic oppression, anti-heroes, greed, and the general unfairness of reality. Now, before you read The First Law, you should be aware that this series is genuinely bleak. Most of the characters are decidedly not good people, and this world is brutal and dark. You may or may not lose your faith in humanity when you read this series, if you had any left in the first place. Also, be prepared for visceral, graphic violence and occasionally sex. And lastly, be aware that the first book, The Blade itself, is mostly set up for the series, and some people do find it to be slow. Once the story really gets going, though, it is damn near impossible to put down. All right, so do you agree that The First Law is a fantasy essential? Drop a comment and let me know your thoughts.